Do you struggle to find the perfect safety eyes for your Ami projects? Or maybe you find them and then they don't quite work out because they're too small or too big. So today, this tutorial is for you if you're tired of struggling with those safety eyes, whether you're finding the right one or just trying to get them attached, because I'm going to share the pattern that I used for the crochet eyes in my Monkey Lovey pattern. I crocheted these with a weight 4 yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook. And I know that black yarn can be a little difficult to see on camera, so for substitution, I'm going to be using a light gray yarn. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing a little better with that. So let's get crocheting.
To crochet these yarn eyes, start with the black yarn and then put 6 single crochets into a magic ring. For round 2, you'll loosely slip stitch into the back loops of every stitch in this round. You want to do this loosely so that your work will stay flat and it doesn't start to bunch up on you. As you make the last slip stitch, switch over to the white yarn. In my Monkey Lovey pattern, at this point I fasten off the black yarn and leave about a 12-inch tail for outlining the eye later on in the pattern. In round 3, you'll work into the back loops again. Start by making a slip stitch and a single crochet into the next stitch. Then, increase in the stitch after that. Now put 2 half double single crochets into the next 2 stitches. So you're going to increase twice with those half double crochets. Then, going back to using single crochets, increase in the next stitch. You'll end this round by making a single crochet and a slip stitch into the last stitch of the round. At this point, you can fasten off the white yarn, and I like to leave a tail of about 12 inches so that I can use that to sew the eye onto the face later on in the pattern. Before I begin, I think about where I want the highlight to be on both eyes. For my Monkey Lovey, I wanted the bottom of the eyes to angle inward towards the nose, so that they're just on either side of that edge of the nose. From that position, I wanted the highlights to be between 1 o'clock and the 2 o'clock position. But you can put them wherever you want. Once you're settled on where you want the highlights to be, thread the white yarn tail onto a needle. I'm going to start with the right eye, and I've already passed the yarn tail through the eye so that it's exiting the back. Now insert your needle into the back of the eye where you want the highlight to be, and try going through the nearest front loop of those slip stitches that you made in round 2. You want to wrap the white yarn tail around the nearest loop of one of those slip stitches, just a few times. As you can see, I kind of did that a little bit differently and got off to a bad start, so it doesn't look as clean. When you're wrapping the yarn tail around this loop, take your time pulling it snug so that the strand lays nicely next to the previous one. And don't pull too much or you won't see much of a highlight left. Once you're happy with what you've done and how big your highlight is, make sure that yarn tail is exiting the back of the eye. I position the yarn tail so it's hanging off the bottom of the eye near that same place where I started. I'll use the rest of the yarn tail for sewing this eye onto the face later on, but that's another tutorial.
I hope you found those instructions easy to follow, and maybe you'll give these a try for your next Ami project. In fact, come join me in my Facebook community and share pictures of your work. That's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching.
Pick number the
Is
next
that
one.
on?
I turned it off. Don't worry.
Messing up my recording video.
Don't worry, we're going to be fine.
Okay.